What's up, moms? What's up, you guys? Hey, everyone. If y'all are new, welcome to Tarot for Moms. If y'all are returning, welcome back. We're going to be jumping into this channel message. As you may have seen by the title, you are going through a level up phase in your life. Hold on a second. Let me fix the chat. Yes. So, like I was saying, you are leveling up in your life. All right, moms. And as you're going through this level up, we're going to see what else Spirit is showing that's going on. We're going to see what advice is coming through from our great mother. For all of my mothers within the collective. If y'all are returning, welcome back. Shout out to all of y'all in the comment section. So I got this download, and pretty much there's some type of situation going on where there may be some battling or competing or battling or games being played in regards to possession, whether someone feels possessive over you or someone feels as if the things that y'all have acquired is like property of theirs. Okay, whether that be children, you, etc., etc. Estates even. So Spirit's download was very clear. Let them have it. All right, take that how it resonates. You will always get the last laugh. So it doesn't matter what you're personally going through on your journey. All right. The divine feminine energy, the dark matter energy is always going to have the last laugh. Patient. Okay. Something about patience is required in this situation. Remaining level-headed is required in this situation. What's up, High Priestess? Please don't go. I'm hearing that song. Found the voice. You found the voice you thought you gave to me. Now I gotta find my own way. All right, this is, you should have listened. Okay, so this could be in regards to someone that you have been trying to talk to over and over and over again, or you've been trying to, put this person on. You've been trying to give them some type of spiritual insight. You've been trying to let them know to play. Okay, but this person doesn't know how to be a good quarterback. This person doesn't know how to work well with divine feminine energy. Okay, but y'all are the originals. Y'all can see danger long ahead. Okay. So what they're saying is divine feminine energy, dark matter energy has always been the original creators of any innovation, the original creators of any dynasty, whether it was creating animals, creating other human beings, creating pyramids, okay, intelligence, technology. It is all outsourced from dark matter energy, imagination. So, credit is always going to come back to you. So you don't have to, yeah, riches. Credit's going to always come back to you. What you created is going to always find its way back to mother. So even if let's say you're going through situations where children are taken from you, or you're just in a constant battle, they will always find their way back to their original creator, and you are the original creator. It always takes mother energy to create anything. That's pretty much what they're saying. So you just wait and see. Some of you guys are being forced to accept, like, currently what you have. And it's not that you're trying to keep the peace. I feel like you are keep maintaining that peace and that harmony with inside of you, because you know it won't be too long before you're able to move away or you're able to transition into your new reality. So it's like a sitting victory, a silent victory. Okay. That's what they're saying. You have that Khaleesi flow, all right? You don't say much unless you really mean it, but when you mean it, boy, it's going to be at a loss because they won't have access to those innovative ideas. They won't have access to what you brought because they were too cocky. And they forgot to appreciate the very person that poured into them, helped them create it. So this energy here is really divine feminine energy, pretty much state showing here that there is some type of debt to be paid. Okay? So how you treat the divine feminine energy creates the debt that no one will be able to undo. And what's going on in the world is a reflection of the patriarchal system, masculine energy trying to outrun that debt. Okay? By brainwashing and doing all types of other shit to make it difficult to control the masses from being able to connect to the mother energy. But regardless of what their intentions are, regardless of what they're utilizing to try to usurp this type of ability, it's going to be thrown back into their face because what has mother energy done? If you're refusing to allow, you know, dark matter to do what it's supposed to do, if you're restricting the cultivation of a natural process that as divine feminine energy has, if you're restricting the children from being able to connect with the mother energy, you'll notice that she'll find a way, like water, whether it's in the air you breathe, precipitation. She will make you sweat. She will make you sweat. She will make you lose things. She will make you, damn. She said manifest in your own masculine energy. So the feminine energy that is being expressed, it's like using masculine. Okay, this is about to sound wild. Okay, so what she's saying is denying her right has created where there's like masculine energies are more feminine now. It's an effect. So it's like because you have done so much to restrict this natural connection, you've kept me away from my daughters, you've kept me away from my children, and you have placed masculines as the alpha and the omega and ignoring that goddess energy. She's coming out in even in their own kind. So it's like you're gonna acknowledge me. You're gonna recognize that you can't restrict me. You can't tell me where I can manifest. I'm gonna do what I do naturally. If you try to restrict my growth in one area, you're gonna see me in your communities. You're gonna see me where you don't want me, and you're not gonna be you're gonna be unable to not see me. So, and what I'm describing here is what she's pretty much saying. They know, but they keep people asleep and brainwashed from being able to know the true goddess energy. They've written her out of the scripts that she gave them. That's what she's saying. But just like her, you will always have the last laugh. So she's teaching her own creation a lesson because they have written her out of the process of naturally expressing gratitude to that Mother Earth energy. All right. And it's not just about the earth, but that is the first goddess as far as what she's showing me. You can't build a house without a tree. Okay. You can't have children without an egg. You can't, there's things that you just can't do without her waters, without her approval. And so they've come up with a way to try to slow down this progression, to slow down this evolution, this reckoning I'm hearing. Um, Kind of by, they've been, oh, damn, 12th house energy. It's like going, sacrificing. Sacrificial energy is here. But why is the mother energy being sacrificed? Look at this shit. The emperor and temperance. So what she's saying is our romantic relationships are mirroring a bigger relationship between mother and father, the originals, where you come from. Okay. And so just like in relationships, when you're dealing with like twin flame unions or partnerships, it's always that give and take type of issue that they have as far as acknowledging when they're wrong, taking accountability. Instead of doing that, they'll just go and find another innocent mind, innocent garden, an innocent child, an innocent person, an innocent feminine, and create new contracts, create more debt to escape the original accountability. Damn. I'm telling you, she is talking today. Mm-hmm. And then turning around and treating her like with all that nurture, with all that she has pretty much helped the emperor cultivate, he still will pollute her waters. That energy, that masculine energy will still pollute her waters, will still mistreat her. And so the relationships that you have romantically, they're incapable of treating you the way you deserve unless you make them treat you the way you deserve. All right? The more you try to please their demands, they will never respect you. They will never honor you. Yeah, judgment here. You're the only person that can hold them accountable. All right, the feminines are the only ones that can hold them accountable because it's your birthright, whether they like it or not. So you only have two choices. Either you're going to sit there and sulk over them, or you're going to feel defeated. Or if you have a situation where you're dealing with, like, you've taken a lot of losses, dealt with a lot of abandonment, and you've given that much control and that much power to someone, hoping that they can see your worth, hoping that they can see that you are worth investing in. He's incapable of respecting you because you're not in divine feminine energy. Divine feminine energy never chases, it only attracts. And when a situation arises where someone is under the impression that they can brainwash you out of fear of losing you, then they're doing what they naturally do, which is testing your gangster. If you're really about that life, there are things that they try to fix you with they use your own magic against you. They use your own dark matter magic against you, and then tell you that it's an abomination for you to utilize your own dark magic. And dark magic is womb mother energy. dark matter energy. Everything that's created comes from the dark. All right. Until the rays of the sunlight penetrates through the soil to provide the nutrients for whatever plant is growing in the dark. And when it breaks soil and it comes out into the light, the process of development is only continuous, but it all began before you could see it. So even though you can't see it because it's happening in the dark, doesn't mean that it's not being cultivated. So to acknowledge, to pretty much skip that whole part after brick and mortar teaches you that that's the most important aspect, is laying it deep within the soil in order to see something come into fruition. It's like pretty much saying that, oh, with science, we don't even need to consider the process of creating a plant. They're pretty much saying that's like old, outdated Piscean energy. So they have made it some type of business to like study a way to create artificial food, artificial everything by using science. It's still magic that they're utilizing in order to do that. They have to mimic the mother energy in order to continue manifesting and creating off of that energy, right? But their whole objective to create more and more and more ways to avoid having to recycle back into the mother energy and even acknowledge the mother energy comes from that distorted relationship. It's in their DNA. They just instinctively know that they owe a debt that they can never repay. They could repay it, but they don't want to repay it because they feel as if it's not what they want to hear. They want to be the scientists, the mathematicians, and the people that feel like it's almost like wanting to be God by pretty much saying that the goddess doesn't even exist and there's only God. 10th house energy. So what is that? Capricorn. So they create time, the oppression of time, the public eye, reputation. And the more, you know how they say by the people is the one that determines what becomes of a person, which is why there's that big cancel culture. The reason why they put the weapon in the masses' hand is to share the debt, okay? If everyone's hands are bloody, they can't necessarily say that it's just one person doing it. So when they do certain things like push a certain agenda or a certain hidden agenda to portray that, like whatever hidden agenda, damn, Spirit, you gotta slow down. Okay. So, let's go back to the hidden agenda. Spell casting. Spell casting, spell casting. Okay. The art of spell casting was taught by a feminine to the masculine. Okay. Pillow talk. All right. I'm going to say he and she just so I can keep my train of thought. So this is a story. This is a myth, whatever you want to call it. All right. He took that information, listened with the intention to usurp the power and control from the feminine by the eradication of that goddess energy. But because of like the certain by spirit, supernatural laws, he had to He had to hide it in plain sight, okay? Give it to the people because again, the masses determines whether or not whatever evolution will come next is determined by the masses, okay? So when the masses secrete a lot of hate in a particular topic, genre, industry, whatever, it determines the next series of events, how they get to predict the weather. But the weather predicting is fake. It's man-made, okay? The weather is really predicted by the emotional stimulation that's casted on divine feminine energy. All right, through spell casting. Thus understanding that the whatever happens next is easily predicted because they've already done things behind the scenes through casting out that vibrational energy. It's going to affect the mothers the most because mothers have a heightened senses of awareness. So when the mothers as a collective is feeling the emotional effect of grief, pain, abandonment, whatever agenda, and they're showing me the agenda as something so simple as, let's say it's fear. I'm going to cast a worldwide wave, heat wave, okay, of fear. The first people to pick it up are mothers. Why? Because through the rite of passage of becoming a physical mother, you become naturally your gifts become naturally heightened. So you become more powerful than the average female, which is how you can just sense that your child is hungry, or you can just sense that you need to look out for something. You smell things without having to be told. You just know how to respond to certain situations because you're way more sensitive than those that haven't created anything through the physical rite of passage of birth or conceiving a creation into fruition, right? So, in duplicating that same observation, they found that if they can get you to self harm yourself, that you would experience the loss and they would sacrifice you rather than them ever being held accountable. So you're always the sacrificial lamb. All right. I hope that makes sense. And when I say you, I'm talking about mothers are always the sacrificial lamb. You, your offspring, especially feminine in general. Because you help them escape a debt they can never pay off. They can never pay off this debt. So that when they cast out fear, when they cast out worry, when they cast out anything, as you're going through any difficult transition, they affect the waters. The waters is, if you notice that any storm that's being conjured up, right, it begins in the water. And the mixing of hot and cold temperature determines how bad the category hurricane would be, right? Same concept. It's science. It's mathematics. So they kill two birds with one stone. 1+1 = 2, but 1+1 really equals one apple tree. So it's really gonna hit the root. And the mother energy is always the root of every, yeah, it's always the root of everything. So at this time, with so many people waking up by the droves of being able to understand the symbolism, being able to read between the lines, being able to dream, okay? The only way for them to connect with their senses, this is a masculine dominated society, right? So in order for them to connect with their senses, they have to create consensus, right? It's going to mimic the original archetype or whatever. So video games are created because they lack the ability to really instinctively tune in like a true divine feminine. They had to create virtual reality in order to go in and to practice that was a method of practicing how to connect with your senses and be more sensitive, because they lacked vision. Their vision was always impaired. Okay, look at this, the King of Wands. Gotta love that King of Wands, don't you? Aries energy, first house energy. So the father. So here's what they do. When your child's father or any masculine energy strikes a deed, okay? Think of every child like a spiritual deed, okay? When they strike this spiritual deed, they are sowing into that authority, who really has the control to determine what you get to create, what you get to shift, and things like that. So what they do is they start utilizing the masculine that you procreate with as the tool of your oppression. Your desire to experience love from that person holds a lot of power. He holds the power if he wants to change his reality. The authority figures requires that masculine sacrifice you. And how does he sacrifice you? He will chastise you by way of your emotions, which is water. So when he chastises you by way of your emotions and cause you to feel an influx of good or bad emotions, he becomes a false creator, creating his reality because he's unable to naturally do it the way the feminine can. Okay, the feminine can naturally do it just by, like, the feminine can turn anything into something. The feminine has that potential already inside of them. It's not a question. It's only as long as he's able to keep her from realizing her true potential, then it becomes easier for him to steal it from her, because she'll start to mirror for him everything she sees in herself in his eyes. Snake charming. So the very thing that they tell you to be afraid of, okay, Lilith energy, will be the very thing that they use without ever admitting to you that they're using it against you. What? Okay. So in this day and age, because of the major losses that they're taking in all areas, they're taking major L's in love, they're taking major L's in their businesses, their companies, they're taking major L's. People are walking out by the droves. They don't want to participate in the system. They don't want to participate in the school system. They don't want to, the entire structure is crumbling from the inside out, right? They've created another agenda, and the agenda is go back out there and go find your baby mamas, go find these feminines that have something going for themselves. Turn that light off and put them back under this influence. They will do it naturally because they are feminine energies. They will do it naturally because they want to feel love. They want to feel appreciated. Give that to them and we'll give you something in return. So they're being currently bribed right now. So the thoughts and ideas that's coming to the masculine's energy, their heads, it's like coming to their heads like random suggested thoughts, seeds of thoughts, right? And so now it's like, well, okay, all I gotta do is get divine feminine to slow down on their dreams, slow down on their aspirations, stop trying to have, you know, keep them busy enough to the point where they don't have time to sit and be still and innovate and create. Keep them occupied, at least if you can't do it forever, do it long enough during the Aquarius age, okay? Or, especially during Aquarius season when the energy is optimal right now for divine feminine, okay? If you can help us avoid this disaster by giving them or bribing them with whatever it is that they feel like they need or they're missing right now, fill that void, and in return she'll start to experience prosperity by way of you getting a better job. We're gonna give you, it's like saying, so like your person, right, will find themselves applying for a job and they only used to get jobs as like an average employee, right? Now all of a sudden they making the same amount of money as a manager or a supervisor at a company, but they have no degrees. You see how that would be very, very crazy? And it's like, wow, this is the first time you're getting a job where you making six figures and you have no degree and and they just decided all of a sudden that they wanted to hire you. And it's like, yeah, that's crazy, right? I didn't even think it was possible. Understand that motherfucker cashed in on your blessing. Oh my goodness. That just made my hair stand up. That's what they did. They cashed in on your blessings. See, because what the authority figures are doing is deliberately trying to close the windows of opportunities for divine feminine, whether that be through social media, whether that be through TikTok. The only thing that they cannot touch right now, okay, is TikTok. Okay. So they're going to try to bribe you to make you not want to go over to certain platforms that they don't have really control over because they don't have those deals strike with those regions of the world. There are certain regions in the world where they don't have deals struck with them, and because they can't really control the the rise or fall of whatever it is that you are manifesting into your own personal life, feminines, they are they're going to try to be like, no, 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 don't go over there. I'll give you a little more and negotiate with you. Seven of Cups. And you're going to like, let me think about it. So there's a negotiation period happening right now. And it's because they're trying to avoid a disaster in regards to some type of Saturn return that you completed and a blessing that's supposed to come at the end of a Saturn return. There's some type of Jupiter energy here. So the plot is hidden in plain sight, but it's happening like it's really, really real. Spirit, why isn't okay? So like other countries like Asia, you're gonna start seeing like Asia, China, Japanese. I don't know which location, but you're gonna start seeing more Oriental people show you that that they pretty much are starting to support whatever you want to create. It doesn't matter. They're going to be the most unbiased region to cultivate in during this time. And the reason why they're the most unbiased is because they already know the consequence that comes from restricting this Aquarius age. And so they've already accepted that, hey, listen, a debt is a debt. It has to be paid. You honor the mother, or is there some type of spell? You honored it, or you lose a lot more. So rather than fight it and try to continue manipulating and continuing to cast more spells and create more confusion, they've created a platform that is strategically designed to give equal fucking opportunity. That's it. That's what it is. Equal opportunity. Despite your conditions, despite your races, your creeds, your colors, anything that was segregated, divided, division, and it's something that's oppressed over you in this age of intellect, in this age of innovation, in this age of technology, they're going to be neutral parties. That's what they decided to be, neutral parties. And because the authority figures of whatever region, that's what they're telling me, region that you are currently operating under, whether this be a platform, whether this be a region of the world, whatever dome that they have to restrict this type of connection with mother energy, they're going to try to bribe you. And to your table that's been prepared for you, to your struggles, it may feel like a lot. So it may come in the form of like stimuluses or minor advances in certain areas in regards to, you know, you got fucking horrible credit, and all of a sudden underwriters are approving you for smaller baby loans when you're meant to fucking have black cards. You get what I'm saying? There's something about inescapable doom. Mother energy is also second house energy, which is tied to the body. So if you're applying yourself Taurus energy, right? Mother energy, all of that's all connected. If you're applying yourself, you're supposed to reap the benefits of it. Very simple, right? So anything that you're gonna start noticing that a lot of Oriental countries are going to be giving you that heads up, or giving you that download, or giving you that intuitive nudge to, hey, come over here. We're not going to be playing dirty. You're going to start seeing they're going to invite you based off of the opposition and the oppression that you've personally experienced by utilizing mirrors of yourselves back to you. So you're going to start seeing more hip hop and R&B, being showcased by Orientals. And it's really to indirectly, they're not just going to tell you this shit at face value. No. Why would they do that? Why would they go and give you a bag? But if you're as wise as a serpent and as gentle as a dove, and you understand through your instincts what mother is trying to tell you, she's created a way for you. And that's why we have the Buddha in reverse. Debt is debt. You can't undo it if you don't do right by it at some point. So they're the only ones taking accountability during this time. You're also going to witness that debt being trying to be cleared by way of integrating races. Okay, so for a long time, we're going to use Orientals as another example. They don't know what it's like to see people of color like that. Okay, but you're going to start seeing the laws change. Very traditional belief systems will change because if they don't get it right, they could lose way more on this spiritual currency. This is all spiritual currency, inheritance, years and years and years of repression, oppression that has made it to a pivot. There's been a pivot in the spiritual realm, and these authority figures are like, no, I refuse to take a knee. I refuse to bow down. I refuse to accept this as, so I'm going to go and I'm going to stir up the people, which is the pot that they can only stir. They can only stir up the people because the people have always been their sheep under that spell anyway. So their way of doing it is by planting seeds of doubt, fear, worry, anxiety, and then using the very same people that you are helping to innovate, using them to portray you as being dark or portray you as being worthless. Okay, so that whole agenda of red pill, blue pill, and trying to make mothers feel as if they are worthless because they have baggage. Okay, they're worthless because they're not just trying to convince mothers in general that they don't have a lot of worth because of the fact that they've been used up, when every last single one of them came out your pussy. Every last single one of them come from mother energy. You've recycled yourself. So how can they ever tell you that you're worthless? They just don't, they have mommy issues. They struggle with being able to honor their own mother, especially with how they perceive them. So all of those ties are coming to the forefront. And it'd be your own kind. It'd be your own. Yeah. They use your own kind against you. Whatever you're attracted to. It don't even matter. Colors don't matter. It's about what you're attracted to. What you feel spiritually drawn to. And I feel as if you're being encouraged to expand. All right. See, they're expecting you to stay in your struggle. They're expecting you to be afraid of loving outside of what you're familiar to. And if they can count on that, then they can count on you being foolish when it comes to love matters, being foolish when it comes to loving yourself, placing that on a swivel, being able to turn your head. Okay. They've had a collar around your neck forever. By placing you as the neck and them as the head has always been as a way to prove to you that they have full range and control of your voice, right? What do they put on next? Collars. It's all to determine when they want you to talk, bark, or holler, okay? All of those symbolisms they put right in your face as a way to subconsciously demonize you without you even realizing it. And they take a backdoor approach to your own garden. This is how they've been fixing humanity. But again, it's all starting with mother energy. Because what your mind don't remember, your body will. And your body is made up of how much water? So if I can affect you physically, if I can oppress you physically, you won't be able to believe in anything else. You won't be able to feel or sense or connect with your instincts anymore. And over time, you'll be like, oh, that was a fad, that was a trend. Okay, so they're trying to convince you that something is a trend or something is a fad and you're going to outgrow it. So you're going to start seeing, think of every person in the matrix like a optical lens. Their eyes are like windows to whoever is really in control over them. So if the person in control over them has their own agenda, then each person that comes towards you is like a zombie. Pretty much the devil. I mean, dang. So be still. I feel like being as this energy is gaining momentum, utilizing this period of time to really stand on your confidence at this time, to really stand on, I don't care if you feel like you don't even look like yourself. All right. I feel like your best friends right now are going to be masculine drag queens. And if you saying, what TT, what you talking about? That's exactly what I said. Masculine drag queens. They're the only unfuckwittable community in this region. Period. If you're in the region of struggling with authority figures, they're the only unfuckwittable region. Their divine feminine energy, dark matter energy in its rawest, purest form. And really, divine feminine mother energy really just created an army of itself. No matter how masculine that they look, you cannot break the confidence of a drag queen. You cannot. At all. And if you try, they will disarm you. Autistic children will fuck you up. If you don't know how to control your temperature, if you don't know how to control your emotions, them autistic children will fuck you up. You ever seen a person over there trying to tell an autistic child what to do? And these kids got strength of dragons. They got strength, unforeseeable strength. You can't even see them coming. They'll whack you out of nowhere. You don't give you a second to think. If you make them feel too uncomfortable, even for a millisecond. But I feel like because your energy is so pure, because your energy is so connected to Mother Earth, the autistic people, the disabled people, the people that are considered not normal, okay, the freaks of nature, they will be the ones that will be able to see who you really are. You will just start noticing, like, a lot of my friends are LGBT. We don't have no problems with each other. Y'all don't have no problems with each other because y'all not in spiritual conflict with each other. You probably could work in an autistic environment with children that have autism, and the children ain't trying to. You can talk to them like a real mother, and be like, "All right, now sit down. I'm not playing with you." And they'd be like, "Okay, okay." Well, the reason why they saying okay to you is because they can sense that you have a genuine mother energy about you. The confidence is there. But when they be with certain people and certain parents, those parents have to learn how to respect the boundaries of those autistic kids. The first thing you learn with autistic children is that they don't like their boundaries being crossed. It makes them feel very uncomfortable. And when they can't express it naturally, they act out. But a lot of it stems from It's a byproduct of this manipulation that has been going on for centuries. And so, like, divine feminine energy, like Mother Earth energy, it's going to do whatever is necessary to release itself from that grip. It's going to do whatever is necessary to procreate itself in its purest form as a preservation of itself, because it all started from this entire forbidden magic. The rules were very simple. The rules were very simple. Honor the goddess. Honor the goddess. And they wrote it out of it. The closest thing in certain religions that you can even put the goddess energy in is what? Mother Mary. And they pretty much describe there was no sexual intercourse whatsoever with Mother Mary to even conceive the Son of God. The whole story in itself just is baffling, right? But then they could tell feminine energy, oh, you need to know who your baby daddy is, or oh, if you have more than one baby daddy, you're an issue. Technically, Mother Mary, technically Jesus' mother, had a baby out of wedlock, but then you teaching everybody to be married, and that is an abomination and it's a sin. But then you also lighting candles for Jesus' mother. Make it make sense. This shit just don't make sense. It don't make sense because the truth of the matter is Mother energy is the only one that can create something from nothing. Mother energy is the only one that can give birth to a child that has no father. You get what I'm saying? Lucy, come on. Like, they just... Six of coins. So there's a lot of karma. These authority figures do not want to pay for... They don't want to pay. And it's not even like, oh, you going to go cash a check. They don't even want you to deliver yourself. Innovation. They don't want you to change from being the beggar. They want you to remain suppressed, repressed, all the RXs. They don't want you to heal. They don't want you to grow. Waiting for someone. I mean, this is pretty much saying that a lot of mothers around the world have dealt with the type of relations where even if they did get into a relationship with someone and that person was providing, like paying all the bills and stuff like that, you were probably put on a motherfucking allowance. You were probably someone that, they'll get you whatever it is that you're asking for, but they don't want to put the money in your hand. They don't want you looking them in the eye and making them feel intimidated. See? Whew. That type of stuff get me hot, okay? They want you to be like, oh, thank you. Thank you for giving me $10. Thank you for giving me money to go and purchase my necessities. They want to know, what exactly do you need? Is it something that you really need or is something that you want? All of that is sick. That's sick. When you're a whole divine feminine out here, you got to sit around being bored, fiddling your fingers while they sit there and they do whatever they want. And when they get bored of you, then they feel like you should allow them to have more options, because what do they say? It's more of us and it's less of y'all. But truthfully, you can have as many as he can have. If he wants an extra, don't mind if we do. The fuck? That's how you hold somebody accountable. And I wouldn't even tell him nothing either. And when he asks, did you do X, Y, and Z? I would lie. That's pretty much what Spirit is telling you. It ain't none of his business. And that's for those of you that have to constantly deal with these types of dark situations. Now, if you are the type of person where you have decided that you don't want to go back to these types of situations and that you're not going to participate in, there's two options that you have. I'm going to keep it real with you from what I see in this energy. You can either stick around with someone and do the time, okay? Do the time with them. Y'all done made kids, whatever. Even if you left that person, you get with another person. You can do the time with anybody. But any event where someone is penny pinching you, someone is treating you as if they don't know how to adore you or appreciate you, and you have to constantly stroke their ego just for them to genuine. Like, when your instincts can tell whether something is genuine or is fake. You can tell. Your spirit will know. If you have to bite your tongue and walk on eggshells and do any of those things for anybody, handle them accordingly. Handle them accordingly. That's the energy that I see on chances the door. Will it be hard? Hell